We back with another one and another one and another one, man. This is what we're all thinking podcast, Stories Behind the Graph. I got a special guest for y'all today. Came all the way from New York to come rock out, come pop his shit on the podcast. So without further ado, man, go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on, y'all, man? It's your new favorite artist, Jaden Dixon. I'm representing Polk County, Florida, just so y'all know. But yes, I am based in New York City now.
Definitely, man. So tell the people the word of the day for you today.
Word of the day for me today, I'm going to just go with courage.
Why courage?
Because I feel like you don't always wake up on the right side of the bed. You don't always feel good every day. But every day is another opportunity to make an impact on the world. So it takes courage to try to, sing in the rain or, act even when you don't feel like it.
So tell us a moment when you had courage.
It took courage just to come in here. I haven't been on many podcasts in the past. So, everything I'm doing right now as an artist is I wouldn't call it experimental because I'm doing everything I really can do. So I'm not just experimenting, but I'm just learning as I go through trial and error, putting myself in positions, putting myself in different rooms. For instance, performing every opportunity that I have, traveling just to perform, paying money just to perform, just to have experience and show face, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah.
Definitely. All right, that's good. That sounds good. If you want to, you can put the mic up closer to you.
Okay.
So they can hear you up close and personal, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, now. Well, shout out to you, man. So tell us a little bit about your upbringing, where you come from, things of those natures.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was born in Orlando, but my people raised me in Polk County, Florida. I'm from Davenport. So if y'all ever heard of the artist Nell Beeman, we from the same exact same town in Polk County. It's in Northeast Polk County. I just grew up playing sports like a lot of kids here in Central Florida, like playing football, baseball, basketball. And yeah, I went to Ridge Community High School. I was always like a gifted kid in school. I always got good grades and everything like that, but I always had a plan and I was always money motivated. So I went to college and I looked at it as an investment, et cetera, et cetera.
Sounds good. A lot of people don't look at college as investment. They look at it as a debt. A lot of people going to college and they be like, damn. That's why I really didn't want to go, because it's like, damn, I don't want that debt on my back. But tell us a little bit about growing up in the Davenport, Polk County area. A lot of people don't know.
Yeah, so I think the main thing I'll emphasize about it is the crab in the bucket mentality. People don't know how to think big or envision themselves in really big places. And for instance, people don't travel a lot, go see the world. I've had the opportunity, I'm literally from Polk County, but I had the opportunity to live in London for 3 months before. I've had a show in London before. I've been to Amsterdam. I've been to Paris. I live in New York City now. I also, kind of a fun fact, but I did work on Wall Street for 2.5 years as well. So I got to see a lot of the world. And I really feel like I'm living the American dream every day. So I want to be able to start sharing that more with people.
Definitely. So how was that experience living in London? A lot of people don't never get to see London in their lifespan. You got to be there for 3 months of your life.
Yeah, London is a one of a kind city, and it always gonna have a special place in my heart. It's like New York City, but it's a little bit more spread out and cleaner and everything. And people say the people there are mean, but I think the people there are amazing. In terms of my experience there, I think it was just amazing meeting so many people that grew up in Europe and just seeing a whole different perspective. I'm not saying that they have it worse than us by any means, but getting outside of America shows you what there is to be grateful for about being American. Living in America, I feel like we take it for granted. We focus on the bad stuff. We talk about how bad racism is and it's still 2024, et cetera, et cetera. And I hate racism, bro. I'm literally mixed with black and white. So I spend a lot of time thinking about it. And I just want to say at the end of the day, I am proud to be American. And America really it's a blessing just to be born here and have the opportunity to have an experience like mine, for instance, come from a small place, middle of nowhere kind of place, and end up on places like Wall Street or live in London. At the end of the day, you can do literally whatever you want to do in life. And so I feel like my only way to really prove that to people and practice what I preach is by doing relatively exotic things with my life. Like I could be able to sit here and tell you I've done these things, and it's like just true. It just is true, you know.
Definitely. Sounds like a plan, man. I mean, for instance, like how was it growing up being like black and white? Because you know a lot of people when they're black and white they deal with a lot of controversy, like you said. And Colin Kaepernick was one of those people that dealt with that controversy. So how did you feel like when you grew up with that controversy?
I think that I just use it to my advantage as best as I can in terms of understanding each side and relating to both sides. But I think the biggest thing that I learned growing up and going into society and getting a corporate job is that I'm perceived as a black person no matter what. So I'm mixed with black and white, but I got nappy hair and I'm black. You know what I mean? So like when I walk into a room, people don't look at me. People look at me. They might think I'm Hispanic. They might think I'm mixed. They might think I'm black and light skinned, just like fully black. But they never will look at me and say that is a white person. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So with that, that has allowed me to kind of find. I think it's hard for all mixed people to like decide who they gonna identify with. Am I just like a mixed person and that's like who I feel like I am? Which that is who I am. I'm mixed at the end of the day. But it has allowed me to just be okay with being proud to be black and also be okay with being white. Like just knowing I'm black and I'm white and I can, do my best to just reap the benefits of both sides instead of focus on, when I've experienced a lot of racism as a black person, people not knowing I'm also white. So I think for me, I just want to do a lot for the black community and I really love black people like with all my heart. So for me, it's great that you brought up Colin Kaepernick because that's a great example. Like he's doing something with his life and sacrificing a lot to stand up for black people. Meanwhile, he's half white too. You know what I'm saying? But like that's somebody who really could create an impact for the black community as a black person. So with that being said, I just hope that the black community, as I continue to do things to empower black people, that they take me in as their own because I really am one of them at the same time, even though I am also white.
Definitely. I mean, it's just when I see stuff like that, because I watched the documentary and how he was coming up and different challenges he had to face. It was like wow, because I'm Haitian, but I'm also black. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know what challenges y'all face. I just see it every day. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to kind of figure out. Ask somebody who's in that realm or who has that kind of advantage in a way. Definitely. So when you say you worked on Wall Street, how was Wall Street? How was the journey in Wall Street?
It was a roller coaster, man. It was like I got a lot of really positive and really negative things to say about it. I mean, like I said, I experienced like a ton of racism and like random shit. I was just like, whether it's based on my race, my class, whatever it is, you treated me a certain way based on how you interpret me immediately without acknowledging my intelligence or the fact that I'm even in this room with you despite any of that. Like, one thing I've always done in my life is I've maintained my slang. That's one thing that I always have wanted to do. Why that is, I don't know. It's a soul thing. When I was a young man, like when I was like 10 years old, 11 years old, I'm already thinking about that. I'm like, I'm never going to lose who I am. I'm never going to change. Or like a lot of people use the term whitewash. I personally don't think it's like morally correct to associate slang with a race or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like if you're black, you're just black. There's black emo people. You know what I'm saying? Like there are, bro. Like how using slang. In my opinion, it doesn't necessarily directly correlate with the color of your skin, but I think it has more to do with your culture and like where you really came from.
Definitely.
So for me, it was like as I navigate through these um, really intense schools, and as I went to college, I went to like a really good college with a bunch of rich kids and stuff
What's,
like
what's a
that.
really good college?
It's called Bowdoin College in Maine. It's a liberal arts college. Billionaires kids go there. I'm just put it like that. And it's called a Little Ivy School. So it was literally smaller in population than my high school. And I felt extremely isolated there, but I made a lot happen with it. So
So what was like the day-to-day journey there?
I mean, it was just college, but just very intense coursework pretty much, and being in the cold because I was in Maine. So those were the biggest challenges for me. being in like
Where is
negative.
Maine for the people who don't know? Cause I heard of Maine, but I don't know where the fuck that shit at. To be honest.
It's a fair question for real. It's north of New York. It's like the most northeastern state in America. Like
Okay.
it borders Canada.
Okay.
So yeah. Maybe not borders Canada. There might be a water body. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but just know
It's right
it's
there.
Maine and then Canada. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
but yeah, Maine is a unique place. It's actually one of the most slept on states. It's one of the most natural places. You want to go somewhere that man has not like manipulated a whole bunch and just see the earth how it's supposed to be, like untouched. Go to Maine. It's a lot of real natural places there.
Really?
Yeah.
I never. My thing is, I never been to like New York yet. I haven't been those places yet, so I don't know what it looks like. They say New York's kind of dirty. Do you agree?
New York's extremely dirty, man.
Why you say that?
Go. Like there's trash all over the street. There's rats everywhere. Like I love New York. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to hate on New York. I live in New York. I'm grateful to be there and everything, but it is dirty. Like it's just a dirty place. I don't know how else to put it. It's
So when you moved to New York, how did that affect your music?
it forced me to decide on my identity, the things I felt unsure about. Like, am I gonna be like I'm from Florida? Am I a Florida artist that's in New York? Am I a New York artist that's from Florida? It kind of made me have to decide on that kind of stuff, and I certainly decided I'm a Florida artist that is based in New York. That's certainly who I am. So I actually I appreciate all art forms. I appreciate all different kinds of music, but I'm not the biggest fan of like New York drill. And a lot of the times when I
Me
was
either.
going there,
Don't be afraid to say it. Me either.
it's my opinion,
I'm
man.
sorry,
So
New Yorkers.
yeah,
I love y'all,
yeah,
but I ain't listening to that.
yeah. So when I was going to studios, which I don't anymore because I engineer all my own music and make all my own beats now. But when I was going to studios, engineers will often just be like, it's relieving to work with somebody who's not working on drill. So that was the first way I kind of started standing out and realizing my value as being a Florida artist, but being based there is like people find it refreshing to work with somebody who's not doing the same thing as everyone else.
Definitely. So, what kind of artist do you think you are?
I think I'm definitely an all genre artist, but that mainly focus on hip hop and R&B. Like I'm a hip hop and R&B artist, but I'm an artist. I'm not a rapper. I'm not an R&B singer. The moment you try to like make me one or the other, then I don't feel like myself. I have really good, rap and hip hop music and really good R&B music that's not a mixture of the two. But as an artist, I am certainly both.
So, what separates you from like the millions of artists that's doing it? Because as of right now, the music industry is saturated. Everybody trying to get to that common goal is either get signed, go viral, do whatever they need to do. What separates you from them guys?
Uh, well, there are a lot of things, but I'll try to name a few right now, which
Give me a
is
top five.
top five. So the first thing is name another artist that worked on Wall Street for real, for real. Like really was in it on the trading floor, Wolf of Wall Street, modern day, on the phone servicing Goldman Sachs, and working at that level. Tell me another artist that could say that. Like I'm not saying that they don't exist, but you're not gonna be able to count them on more than one hand. And I can't tell you five of them right now. So
Hmm.
that's definitely one thing. Next thing, I make all my own beats, and I know there are an increasing number of artists who can say that and do that.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm just one of them. I'm one of the artists who can create all my own beats. I'm a true engineer. Like I'm not just like putting together my vocals and that's it. I'm literally all three things. Like I'm a producer and everything it means to be a producer, not just a beat maker, but a producer. Like I can take you in a room and I will record you and we'll discuss it and we'll talk about it and we'll vibe and whatever and you'll make a song with me and I'll help you. You know what I'm saying? Like
So you think you could turn me into an artist?
if you want it to be, absolutely. Yeah. And I could talk to you through your mindset about like how are you gonna turn this into a song. Like we could sit here right now and have this conversation. I can make a song about anything. Like my songwriting skills at this point, I've developed that actual skill. So I'll make that number three. Number two is I engineer all my own stuff. I make all my own beats. Number three is my bad. I actually forgot what I just said.
You said songwriting.
Songwriting. Yeah, number three. I'm a true
I'm locked
songwriter.
in.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I'm a true songwriter. I do freestyle songs. Like I'm starting to embrace making all different kinds of music. So I'll make a freestyle song that's not meant to be lyrical, and that's okay. And it's fire. It's a bouncy song. It's just not meant to be deep and lyrical. That's it. And I make other songs that are very lyrical and very well written. But I say all this to say I'm a true songwriter. I've developed that skill. I've spent time and effort and work with my manager, you know, doing everything we can to develop my actual skill set in terms of when I walk into a room, can I write a song right now about that plant sitting behind you? Yes. Like I can make a song about literally anything in here because I know how to write songs. So I'll make that my number three. I'm a true genuine songwriter. Number four, I'm a real business person. I know I brought up Wall Street earlier, but separately, I'm entrepreneurial minded. I really am a business minded person and I have multiple businesses. My manager and I, this is my best friend from childhood. He's my artist manager. We also have a vintage clothing business together. I'm also doing personal finance consultations as part of my business ventures. I'm trying to find ways to integrate that with my artistry. So I'm going to make that number five. Number five is I'm an artist who adds value in more ways than just giving you entertaining content to watch and good music to listen to. I'm actually giving out information for free or for a small fee that has the power to genuinely change people's lives forever in a 30-minute conversation. And what it is that I teach is taking people from living paycheck to paycheck to building wealth. It's that simple. I'm not here to be no crypto guru. I'm not here to sell you a course. I'm not here doing none of that. I'm genuinely taking what is your financial situation? How can we work this out without changing even what you spend, without changing your lifestyle? How can we work this out in such a way that each time you get paid, you're paying yourself the same way you pay your landlord, the same way you pay your bills for this and that? A lot of people fail to pay me. They forget to pay themselves. And that's the only way that you can build wealth.
You know what that is though. People don't read.
You gotta read.
People don't read.
I'm an artist that reads. I read every day.
What's your top five books then?
My top five books, I'll go. Number one is Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill.
Oh, okay.
Number two, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Waddles.
Okay.
Number three, y'all heard of this one, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
That's where you
Gotta
gotta
get
pay
that
yourself
one in.
from. There you go.
Yep.
See, put the camera on me. You see, guys, y'all always hear me talk about reading. The reading is very fundamental. Reading will change you from a average Joe to another level of a person. Like I'm reading a book right now. I just finished it. I'm the type of person I like when people talk about reading. I'm reading this right here, y'all. Free your mindset and change your life for success. You know what I'm saying? So those are the type of books I like to read. But go ahead. Sorry, it get me hyped when you talk about reading. But yeah, go ahead.
I feel the same as you.
Yeah.
I understand the value, and I preach to this man constantly about the power of books. I say books carry the sauce of life. You read a book and be like, damn, this was here the whole time? Just sitting in this page? Like, it's crazy. The mindset of people who read books versus those who do not is just a whole different
Whole
plane.
different conversation.
It's
too.
a whole different conversation. You like once you learn how to genuinely educate yourself, that's when it becomes not about school. That's when you realize, I just need to apply myself and care. And I think the key for any of y'all that struggle with reading, just find something that you actually enjoy reading. And for a lot of people, that's something that they feel like they get value from. So they read books like the books that you and I read. Like,
Mindset books.
yeah. So I said three already. Number four, The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, especially for y'all artists out there. If you struggle with your artistic identity or you've always been an artist your entire life, but you never took it seriously, blah, 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 The Artist's Way will really get you right. And finally, there's one more book just like that one. It's called It's All in Your Head by Russ. It's
I
a
heard
really,
about that
really
one.
good book, for real. All these books I just named, they're practical. So you read them and you can immediately apply them as you go. So you can actually test the things you read and like, is this really going to affect my life? Go do it today.
Ryan, go get them. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you can really go do it today as you read it. As you read the theoretical information, you can actually put it into practice in the same day with a lot of these books that I'm naming off. That's the kind of books I found that I like to read because I just want something that I'm not going to get to the end of and feel like I wasted my time or I barely gained anything from.
The thing is, with reading, what I noticed is it's like you could fall off of it because social media will ruin your thought process on it. So you'll just get into doom scrolling and things of that nature. But I just feel like people just they was in school, they didn't really push reading. Their parents didn't make them read, stuff like that. So I think that's what mainly what it was. So what's some artists you listening to?
I'm listening to shout out Nell Beeman and Hard Nard. So that's two Polk County artists that I really have been enjoying listening to a lot. I actually just got the opportunity to work with Nard for the first time. I was with him today, actually, right before we
Hmm.
came over here. So that's exciting. I also been listening to Huncho. Um, I like these new waves. I don't really listen to like the more like underground Playboy Cardi type music.
Hmm.
I don't tend to listen to that as much, but I have evolved in the way I view it. I used to not know how to appreciate it, but nowadays I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing. Like at the end of the day, these guys are selling out shows, man. That's what they're doing,
Definitely.
and they have cult fan bases. So you can't hate on that. If you hate on that, you just close minded. You just can't see if you hate on that.
For real.
So I see what they're doing, and I appreciate them for that. I just have to understand who am I, what's my goal here, and for me, it's more about timeless music and less about trends and clout, and more about like making an impact for real. And so I'll take
Definitely.
my time. I don't want to take no shortcuts. I don't want to blow up for the wrong reason. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just whatever blows up for me. It's like I need people to understand my value so that I can be properly appreciated because
So the my question to you is like, are you saying that what message do you want to get from the people? What message are you trying to convey to them? What message are you trying to push? What are the things you're trying to give? What kind of value are you trying to give? I know that's a lot, but what is your personal brand trying to give to the people?
I'm a walking role model and I'm walking proof that you can make yourself anything that you want to become. I've done a lot of really what things that I know are impressive and I know, how my life started and I know what I have been exposed to and I know it's very similar to a lot of the people that's going to hear this podcast. So, I think a lot of people look at people like me and think I have some X factor, some crazy gene, but as I've grown older and more mature and less egotistical, I've just become encouraged to tell people, man, I'm just like you. We really the same. I'm not even special. Y'all think I'm so special. All I do is just do. Y'all just sit there and watch and think and speak, but you don't do. And that's it. So I feel like, what message am I trying to really get across? Well, first of all,
Tell them about that three word. Remember?
yeah,
Yeah.
my real purpose is to enlighten, inspire, and empower as many people as I possibly can while I'm on this earth. So at the end of the day, if I'm doing that, then I'm doing what I'm on earth to do. Now, why did I choose artistry as my avenue for doing that? And why am I not just a public speaker or this or that? A lot of people, when I was growing up, wanted me to be a politician. Like they saw me as like, you should go into politics, you should run for president one day, blah, 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 blah. The reality to me, in these communities that we grew up in, these kids are not looking up to politicians. Like they just not. They don't even know who their governor is. They don't even know. They don't even care. They don't know much about politics. Who do they care about? Artists. That's who they look up to. Kids look up to artists. They look at them. They want to dress like them. They want to be like them. And a lot of these artists give kids bad influence. So I feel like that's a bad and evil thing in society. So like, why can't I be a? I'm already a role model in life. So why can't I be a dope artist who makes dope ass music, who's cool, knows how to relate to people, and genuinely inspire kids to like realize that they can be anything and that they can also be polite and respectful and they don't have to be an asshole and like they can be a genuine person that I'm not saying like humble in a bad way, humble where you're modest, where you don't understand your value and you don't have self-respect, humble where you just I think what I'm really meaning is confidence.
Hmm.
You don't got to prove yourself to anybody. Like just be yourself and be the best version of you. Who likes you is going to like you and you're going to know. You don't have to try to win you're never going to win everybody. You just got to be you and focus on the people who see your value and that's it in my opinion.
I think when it comes to when you said winning people, I don't think you need to win. I think you just need to build a community of people that just respect your hustle, respect what you got going on, just respect everything you're doing, and people will come because it's like this term that I learned. My friend, shout out to B More if you watching, shout out to you. She was saying, when you start building a house, everybody gonna be like, that's a good idea. But once you start putting up the foundation, the drywall, the thing, nobody gonna want to help you. Every day you just gotta want to build the house. So every day you just grab one person in that community. two people start coming. Then those two people bring two more people. Then you just got that cult fan base we was speaking on before, and it just becomes a thing where you just build. I think a lot of people just focus on trying to get a specific people. I just think you just get people that respect your hustle, like how Nipsey was. He had people that just respected what he had going on and respected what he did for his people, and I think that was the thing that worked out for him. And I think that's something that probably could work for you, in your journey in your realm. What you think?
I think that's absolutely correct, and that's exactly what I'm focusing on right now. I mean, what's the word I always use? Like either content or fan base. That's two words that we are every day is in our conversation. We talk about content, 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 and the importance of just having a fan base. I see that, the labels are extremely powerful, but when you have a fan base that has nothing to do with the labels, you're really untouchable in a way. As long as you can cater to those people and you have your fan base and you have your own motion, like you are good with or without a label. Labels can help in a lot of ways. They can hurt in others, as a lot of us know. But I mean, I think that's why I respect these artists that have fan bases, because that's what I want to have. So if I'm too busy hating on them, I can't even see what they're doing that's working and do it myself. So,
Respect the craft.
you got to grow mentally as an artist, I think. And like, you got to become more mature and get out of your own way of like hating on people for one. Because
I don't think it's hating. People when they speak on other artists or what artists are doing, it's just a healthy competition, because at the end of the day, when you step, like, I learned this too. Like when you're on social media and it's 1,000,001 artists, 1,000,001 podcasts. What are you doing to put yourself in that realm next to that person? I know when I'm in between them lines, when I post my stuff, I'm going against millions and ones of podcast. What's gonna separate me from them? So I don't really think it's hate. It's just healthy competition, bro.
yeah, for sure. I think what I mean, just to like clarify, I'm just saying like you look at an artist, they have a healthy fan base. They have people who wait to listen to their music, who pay to listen to their music, who pay to go to their shows. And you listen to their music and you're like, this music sucks. This guy sucks. Why does everybody like them? You know what I mean? That's hating on them, in my opinion. Like, you're just hating. You can't.
No, I just think that's being ignorant.
Okay.
Cause I was ignorant to a lot of the stuff until I'm the type of person, I might not like your music, whatever the case may be. But if I see you perform, then that probably draw me in, or that probably a way, or some things they was doing that probably draw you in too.
Yeah.
So that's how it be.
Yeah.
What you think?
I think I think that definitely makes sense. Like, I think it doesn't really matter what you call it. At the end of the day, if you can get out of the, you should never be looking at people that's doing better than you and thinking that you doing better than them. It don't make no sense. Like, so I think you just have to have good balance, good self-awareness, good confidence, and do what you know to do. Do what you have accessible to you and make the most of that. And I think if I just continue to do that and I just stay strong, keep faith, like, also not be motivated by external anything. Like, I go do a show, I get really good feedback from people, I feel really great about myself as I'm leaving. I can't let that get to my head in any kind of way. It's like that's just one more performance. Like, you just gotta, the goals are just so much higher. And I'm not saying don't celebrate small wins. That's something I actually struggle to do a lot in my life. It's like, bro, you on Wall Street. Like just celebrate that for a minute before you try to do the next thing. So
Did you ever watch the movie?
yeah,
How many times you watched it?
probably like at least 5.
I ain't gonna lie. When I need some motivation, I watch that movie. Like that movie right there. If y'all don't know what movie I'm talking about Wolf of Wall Street. So tell us what that movie like embodied for you, and then you being in that actual place where everything was started.
Yeah, that movie, it just kind of, it was really my first job out of college. So all I had seen up to that point were just the movies and just what I've heard from people, and it has this like very controversial reputation. I think the modern day version of it is everything that movie has, but extremely watered down and definitely a lot more like professional. It's not very like exposed, and I wasn't like seeing. There weren't like prostitutes on the trading floor, for instance. Like that just wasn't. It wasn't the case. It wasn't. But I think, in ways there are versions of those things just more well hidden nowadays. But Wall Street was, it was really just hard work It was a lot of really hard work, and at the end of the day, even though you're making a ton of money, even if you're going like at the lowest level, you're making at least six figures. Even if you're going at the lowest level, you're still to them you're just a number. Like you're just one little ant in the whole ant hill, and there's 5,000 people waiting outside the door to have your role. So it's really cutthroat. And for me, like I ultimately left it. I really left it because I know what my purpose is, and I know that music is the avenue which I'm going to most efficiently and broadly serve my purpose for the world. With that being said, Wall Street wasn't helping me do that, but it also was because, as we all know, this stuff is not free. Like becoming an artist is an expensive. It doesn't have to be ridiculously expensive. You have to be smart with your money and put it in the right places, but it costs money. It costs money to be an artist, especially if you want to take it seriously. So what that did do for me is allow me to, with the wealth building tools that I teach people now, I applied those from the moment I got my first paycheck on my job. And so at 24 years old, I was in a position where I can walk away from Wall Street knowing that, I'm still a registered representative. I can still walk back onto Wall Street right now if that's what I really needed to do at the end of the day. Um, but being able to walk away and financially support myself in the very expensive New York City, just to get to that point of wealth, just to get to that point is just a massive accomplishment. So
So you knowing the stuff that you know, the wealth tips, things of that nature, how does that help you with your day to day with the music?
I think it helps me be more of an artist and less of a starving artist because I think, and this is what the job was doing to me as well. It was getting in my way of being an artist. It was hard for me to make music or to talk about anything because I was just so exhausted. I was just exhausted and stressed out, and like you got to feel good to make good music sometimes. Sometimes you can feel really bad, and through your expression of that, you make incredible music. But I just
Hmm.
think in general, your soul got to be in the right place. Like you can't feel off and like do your best work in life. Like it's really hard to do that. So
You think so?
it depends. It depends. I hear you in terms of your skepticism for sure. Because sometimes like that pressure is like what you need to like break through. Yeah. That struggle will.
Cause it's like a lot of people like when I'm feeling like struggle or when I'm feeling a certain type of way, it's like I go into that mama mentality almost, and it's like no matter if I got one leg, I'm on one leg, or my hand broke, I'm still gonna try to make it do what it do. I guess that's coming from a sports background too, cause it's always like us as men, we growing up as kids, it's like get up, you ain't hurt. So I take that
Yeah, yeah.
mentality as, you know what I'm saying? You take that mentality, and I take that mentality in my work. Cause it's like even when I'm sick, when I'm tired, I look like shit. I feel like shit. I'm still coming here try to do, and my job is kind of different from yours. I'm talking, I'm using my voice, and my face is always on the camera. But I got to a space where like, even if my face on the camera, as long as what I'm saying is like the right thing, I think it works out.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Cause a lot of people like when it comes to the artists, it's like they be like, I gotta feel good, but we want. I'm the type of person. I'm the type of music consumer. I want to hear the pain. I want to hear what you went through, cause that makes me relate to you even more. That's why Mr. Raw Wave has the cult fan base that he has. What you think?
That all makes perfect sense. I think I can word better what I'm really trying to say. I'm not saying you have to be happy. I'm
Yeah.
not saying you have to be like in a good mood to make good music.
Hmm.
I'm saying that your soul has to be in a certain place to make music, even if it's negative music, even if it's sad, even if it's pain music. Like, if you have too much chaos in your life, it's hard to shut everything down for a minute, sit somewhere and make music and not be worried about I gotta pay my bills, like I gotta do this, I gotta do that. The stress of life sometimes can overwhelm a person to the point where they start deprioritizing making music. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that to be successful as an artist, I believe you have to be able to make music like every day. Like you have to make it a priority. It has to be something that you really do. Like when it comes to music, I really do this. Like I've worked to get the confidence that I have in terms of my ability to create. So right now, if you wanted to go in the next room and make a song, I'm ready. Like I'm ready. I do this every day. I do this. Like this is what I do. So, you know, I earn the right to say that because it is a fact, of my life.
Definitely. And that I feel like when you put in that type of work, is that's how you talk. Cause that's how I feel when it comes to anything I do. Hey, If you need help building a brand, I can help you build a brand. If you need help starting a podcast, I know what to do. Because, like you said, I do this every single day. Whether I'm here or not, I'm posting clips, I'm looking up stuff, different things, I'm reading. You know what I'm saying? Different research. So I completely understand when you said so. When when it comes to, because we at the halfway point of the year. This is where I feel like, yeah. This is where I
Real
feel
fast.
like everybody need to figure out if this is put up or shut up time.
Hmm.
So for you, what are we looking at? We getting more visuals. We getting a body of work. We getting singles. What are we getting from you as far as the music?
Everything you just said and more, definitely. So I've been spending this first half of this year stacking. I got a
Smart.
deep vault of music, deep vault of music, deep that I own, that I created from scratch, that I can put out no matter what, and nobody can tell me not to. I got content. I've been stacking so that when I am dropping, when I am putting content out, it's just you gonna see me. You gonna have to unfollow me, or you gonna see me every day because I'm gonna be there. So
Smart.
I have content and it's high quality content and it's I've spent my time and my effort on my content as well as my music, of course. So now it all just has to come together. So you will be getting some singles from me first. I haven't put out music since 2020, and I've been working my job this whole time. Blah 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 blah. Now is the time that I'm dropping music. So I will be dropping singles first. Then you will have a small body of work from me, and we'll after that we'll kind of reevaluate, look at the numbers, look at what has done well at that point, and that'll help us plan out what's gonna come next. But we'll definitely have at least one music video as well, and included in everything I just said. So we're gonna have singles, a music video, a feature that I just worked on today, as well as a body of work that you can definitely. It will be here. Like all this will be here this year for sure.
Definitely. So what is your end goal other than to impact people? What is something other that you want to touch with the music?
I think I want to go as far as you can go in music without selling your soul. That's my other goal. Like I will never, ever like if I can't get to Drake's level because in order to get there, I reach a certain checkpoint in my journey, and they're like, all right, like well now you got to do this thing that you are morally against, and then we will make you an international superstar for sure. Like this is the last step to get to that caliber. I'm gonna be like, all right, well, I'm gonna be as big as I am right now. Then, like, I'm never going to sacrifice my morality for clout or for any glory on this earth.
So let me put you in a scenario, because everybody likes to do the set your soul thing. I don't know why. That's just the big. I guess that's the best example you could give when it comes to it. So I look at that type of term or that type of situation as, I'm not saying say, so I'm saying what if because a lot of people when you're doing positivity stuff, because I started doing a podcast as a positivity thing. I was trying to be push positivity, but people don't like positivity. So what would you do if somebody's like you're too positive? What would you do to kind of counteract that type of thing?
Am I dope? Is my music good? Are there people who enjoy my music for the fact that it is positive? Great. That's all I have to say to them. Like, that's another thing that makes me different. I'm positive. I have the courage to be positive and that be my thing. And knowing that most people don't like positive shit. I don't like that people don't like positive shit. I don't like that people like to gravitate toward negativity. It's not good for any of us. It's not good for anything. It's drama. I don't like drama. I like results. I like making money. I like changing people's lives. I like making people happy. I like encouraging people. I like seeing other people succeed. What is success? Becoming what you want to become. So at the end of the day, I don't I don't care. That's what I will say. Like I won't say anything to them because I don't care and I don't have anything to prove to them. They just don't see it. They don't have the depth to see my vision or its magnitude for that matter.
How you was able to build that confidence and not let nobody break it? Because it takes a while for somebody to be like, this is what I'm gonna do. I don't care. Things of that nature.
I felt what it feels like to not feel like myself. And I
Mm.
gave in to that feeling that you're describing. And I gave in to, external and social media and all that kind of stuff and started trying to cater to people and what they like instead of me being me and allowing them to appreciate me for who I am, because that's what it's really all about. So I just learned to emphasize in my life that I just need to be myself, and I need to be the best version of myself. If there's only 50,000 people on this globe who's gonna be my fan base, then I'm an artist that has 50,000 fans. I just don't think that's true. I think people are gonna love the fact that this man went out of his way to be positive. At the end of the day, like I keep saying at the end of the day, but I that's my thing. Like that's what makes me different. So where does the confidence come from? It just comes from, like I said, living life and not feeling like myself and knowing how that feels and being like, I'm never living like that again. So I only got one choice, and that is just to be me. Like I got to be right with God. If I'm right with God and I feel like I'm being myself, even if it comes down to my people, my mom, like I've been talking to my mom about this a lot actually. I'm like, Mom, I just want to be myself. I'm not doing anything to try to embarrass you, or I don't even want to be thinking about how I'm affecting others. Like I just want to be me. I just want to be me. I just want to be myself. That's it. I'm not going to try to act like that person or this person. I can appreciate that they cool. I can get inspiration from things I like about them as long as I make it me.
Definitely. Sounds good. So how you feel about the women right now? Women are taking over the game. They doing their thing. How you feel about the women?
I think that it's a beautiful thing that female artists and female rappers are getting the attention that they really should have always had. I think hip hop has always been a male dominated industry, like most sophisticated industries in America. And at the end of the day, I keep saying at the end of the day, but ultimately, the world is going to continue to progress. So whether people like it or not, the world moves. We look at this TV right here. When we were alive, when we were his age, we had box TVs. We had box TVs. Now we got 80-inch, 8K touch screen, talk to the TV. Like the world is going to advance. There's nothing you could do about it. So again, like the world is just going to keep moving, and there's certain things that we as humanity have control over, and there are other things such as like the growing and independence of women that I just have I just want to support. At the end of the day, I view it as advancement, the same way I view like us black people doing things, making money, you know what I'm saying? Like being free and reaping the benefits of it. Not just being free on paper and then enslaved in society. We really do have the opportunity to create opportunity for ourselves and for others. So when it comes to women, salute, salute to all of them. I think it's a beautiful thing that women are able to have independence in today's world and be established and sophisticated, not necessarily with the dependence of a man involved. Not that that isn't the case and that they don't have men that they work with, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm just saying, like, I just think it's awesome that women get to have the platform that they have today. That's all I can really say. Like, they should always have an equal opportunity to shine. There's no reason why not.
You think women are just as equal as men?
No,
Why?
because they have never been. And I think that women have now been empowered to the point where they're allowed to use their voice to say where they would like equality. But I think it comes down to the woman at the end of the day. Some women genuinely do want to be equal, and other women don't want to. They just, you know what it is? Women want to have equal respect. That's what it is. They just want to be respected equally. The respect between a man and a woman should be equal in your relationship and everything. It shouldn't be normalized.
Really?
Yeah.
So you believe in 50-50?
In terms of respect, absolutely. Respect, yes.
What about other things? Not just respect.
No. I think there are certain things that are not. I think men are supposed to be men and women are supposed to be women. I think that, and I'm not saying that all men, I think that at the end of the day, what it really comes down to is masculinity and femininity and the balance of that and the polarity of those two
So
things.
what if a woman is making more money than you?
As if we have a relationship and she makes more money than me and she's the breadwinner in the relationship and we talk about it and her and I are comfortable with it, it don't matter what the world thinks about us. Like, we good.
Well, it's not a more so the world. It's more so like, what do you? Because I was talking to this girl and she said her boyfriend left her because she was making more money. So how you feel about that?
I think that makes sense. Like,
Why does what is that? Why is that? Why do people think that makes sense? That don't make sense. If my girl making more money, that's a good thing.
it comes down to the person. Yeah, that man obviously his pride was hurt from that, and he's obviously a prideful person. So there it is. Like she might be sad that he left her because of that, but he probably based on that, he probably is not in the right place to even be with a woman like that, is what it sounds like to me. So if you're gonna be with a woman that's a breadwinner, all that matters is that there's mutual respect, and that because she's the breadwinner, that doesn't mean she gets to disrespect you and blah blah blah
I was just
blah.
about to actually see beat me to the punch. That's good. He's smart. So you don't feel like a woman should just run the table. The man should still have that place of running the household.
There should just be mutual respect. They should if you're talking about in terms of a relationship, all that matters in relationships is mutual understanding and communication. She can be the breadwinner, she can be the woman of the house, and there be no man of the house, so long as they're on the same page about that. That's all that matters. They have to be on the same page. That's what makes a relationship flourish, is that we don't care what society says. We don't care what these people say. I'll share something vulnerable with y'all. My girlfriend and I, we go half and half on everything. All expenses in life. We go on vacations, we split it. We split rent, we split groceries, we split everything. She a real one. And for me, I honestly, man, I was
You just lost some respect from social media. They hate you now.
they hating because they paying for a girl who don't even love them. But shit, I don't want to talk about that. So
Yeah.
yeah, that if you ask her to pay, she won't. Why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Put the camera on me. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I understand that. Cause a lot of guys don't want to look weak though. A lot of guys don't want to feel like that.
Don't make you weak. I got a woman who respects me, who understands me. She lets me be the man of the house. She believes in my journey. She been with me through me being on Wall Street, through me quitting Wall Street, through me being an artist right now, and everything in between. She's with me for my soul. She's with me because she likes me. She believes in me. And I feel the same about her. We together because we respect each other. We're not here to depend on each other in ways we don't need to, such as money. Like she don't need my money. My girl doesn't need any money from me. So I never had to worry about, is this girl just using me because I'm on Wall Street and I make the big bucks? I never had to worry about that with her. She already has inheritance. So she's chilling. Like she was never with me for money. She was with me because she loves me. And for me, what works for me in a relationship, I just want to be in a relationship with somebody that I love. Some people be in relationships for money, and both of them are in it for money, and that works for them, and I respect that too. So like, it really comes down. These kinds of things come down to the individual person. But if you put it into the perspective of relationship, it just matters that those two people in that relationship have communicated, are on the same page, are not operating in malice, are not manipulating each other to take advantage of each other, and are genuinely, in good communication about their situation.
So how do you stay faithful to one person?
Well, step one is selecting a person who's worth staying faithful to. So I think that's the most important thing. If you have a woman who you're with her and you're like, I ain't even happy. Like, I'd rather be by myself. Why are you in a relationship with that person then? Like, what are you doing? So being faithful, it comes down to two things. It comes down to what I just said, choosing someone that's worth being faithful to, and then your own maturity and discipline and your ability to understand yourself, understand your urges, your temptations, and be in control of them and be self-aware and use them to your advantage. Like, I'll just say, for instance, like lust is a terrible thing. It can be a very, very terrible thing. And I think like same with sex. Too much of anything is bad. Abuse of anything is bad. But if you have a really good woman who is going to take care of you in every way that you need and adapts to your needs and your liking and fulfills you, and you put in the communication and the energy and the effort it takes to get on the same page with the person, then it's very much worth it. So you have to decide, what kind of life am I trying to live? I think in the single life, when you're having a lot of sex with people that you desire to have sex with, I believe that there's a ceiling on how deep that experience can get. It can be really good.
You think there's a ceiling on that?
Yeah. You
Yes.
can only know, you can only, like, you can vibe with somebody on first meeting them and everything. You can have a strong vibe
I
with
don't
somebody.
think there's no ceiling on that, brother.
I think we're going to have to agree to disagree on this one. For real.
There's no ceiling on that, brother. I ain't gonna lie. Hey,
Somebody who knows you deeper than your physical desires, who knows how to, like, we can become extremely specific with what we love, and, like, I think there's a different level of depth when it comes to being in a real mature relationship with somebody and developing, like, comfort with them to do things with them that you wouldn't have done. Like you make it less about me and more about them. When you just like, I just wanna I'm downtown this weekend. Like, that's great and all, but really you just trying to get that nut, honestly. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get that nut.
why
And,
you pointing at me? I ain't do nothing.
because you on that side. You say
Don't say me. He was just like this. Damn, me.
Oh,
We an hour away now, so remember.
okay. What time is it right now?
It's 5:51. Traffic crazy.
Leave him.
It's
Yeah, man.
5:51. Okay. How much longer we got, you think?
We almost done. It's all on you.
It would take us an hour to get there.
Yeah, man.
So
7.
so we have to go. Yeah, we got to go in the next 5.
Yeah.
Like, be out in the next 5.
Okay.
So we could do a few more questions and then wrap up, if that's
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So what you value more, loyalty or respect?
What do I value more?
Yeah.
Respect.
Why?
Because if somebody's disloyal to me and I'm loyal to them, then that's on me for being loyal to somebody who wasn't worth it, in a way. But, like, someone who's not loyal to me, as long as they respect me, I'm okay with that. I don't need to have, like, I don't know how to explain it. I'll just say I'd rather be around somebody who respects me but is not loyal to me than somebody who's loyal to me but does not respect me. As in, they'll sit around me, they'll be with me for an extended period of time, but they don't even respect me.
Mm-hmm.
That's like being surrounded by fake friends.
Hold on. Take them. You can take them. Yeah, water. But yeah, go ahead, finish.
I think what inspired my answer to this question is just having the experience of having fake friends for a long time and realizing it and being like, these people been loyal to me for years, but I actually see that they don't actually fuck with me. Like, they don't actually respect me. They don't see me for who I am. They see me how they see me, and they don't even see me. So how does that make me feel loved at all, or respected for that matter? So the disrespect associated with that experience has me saying respect over loyalty almost, because loyalty is only worth something if the person being loyal to you is valuable to you.
Definitely. So if you could look back at yourself, what would you tell yourself?
I would tell myself, try to be present and celebrate the small wins more. I think all my life I've been, seeking for more, overachieving, and I've gotten older and more mature and more wise. So I've learned to embrace when good things happen, because it's not always good, and it doesn't always mean things are going to be great forever. But when things are well, when money's just rolling in and things are just going extremely well, take that vacation one time, just once. Like, treat yourself, take care of yourself. Like, that's what I would tell myself. Take care of yourself and love on yourself more and be kind to yourself. That's what I'll tell myself.
Definitely. Anything else you want to tell the people before we get out of here?
The last thing I want to tell the people is nothing can stop you. You can do whatever you want to do in your life. And I know a lot of artists say that to you, but if you follow me, I'm going to show you. I'm walking, I'm living it, I'm telling you. You can watch me do it, and I want that to inspire you to do it yourself. And I'll say one more thing. Don't be egotistical. Just don't be egotistical. It's lame.
Definitely, man. Well, shout out to my boy for coming through. This was a great podcast. Learned a lot. Y'all stay tuned. He got a lot of stuff coming out for y'all. But y'all know what time it is. Y'all like, comment, subscribe on the video. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Hey, what's that? Turn it up.